We have more exciting iPhone Fold leaks, and for the first time they really make the product feel like it's actually happening. Not just being explored, not quietly prototypes, but like the hardware decisions are actually finally set in stone. Button placement, internal layout, cameras, battery size, this is the kind of stuff Apple usually locks down fairly late in the process. And according to a new leak from a familiar Weibo source, we're starting to see exactly how Apple plans to make the first foldable work in the real world. The leak in question is Instant Digital, someone with a surprisingly good track record when it comes to Apple details that later turn out to be spot on. And what they've shared this time isn't flashy headline stuff, it's practical, it's structural, and that's why it's actually believable. Before we get into the weeds though, quick reminder guys, around 90% of you guys watching these videos still are not subscribed, which statistically speaking means most of you are basically regulars who haven't committed yet. If you enjoy these Apple deep dives, the leaks, the design speculation, and the occasional mild skepticism, hitting subscribe really helps the channel more than you might expect. Right, foldable iPhone. One of the first design changes that stands out is the volume button placement. According to the leak, Apple's moving the volume buttons to the top edge of the device, aligned towards the right side, similar to the iPad mini. Now I'll be honest, when I first used the iPad mini, the volume button placement was a little odd. Muscle memory kicks in and your fingers go straight to where the buttons usually are, and they're not there. But after a few days, I barely noticed it. You adapt quickly and it starts to make sense, especially when you rotate the device. On a foldable iPhone, this change is doing far more than just mixing things up. The volume buttons usually live on the left side of the iPhone, which would require Apple to run internal cables across the fold to connect them to keep it in that layout. That's not ideal. By moving the buttons to the top, Apple can route everything straight upwards, avoiding crossing that display area and freeing up internal space. It's one of those decisions that sounds minor, but has massive knock-on effects for reliability and battery capacity. The right side of the fold is set to remain familiar, the power button with Touch ID still there, along with camera control we've seen on recent iPhones. Touch ID sticking around is interesting, but not surprising. We've already heard rumors about Apple shrinking Face ID components for the iPhone Air 2, but it sounds like that tech either won't be ready in time for the folds, or is far more complicated to integrate into a foldable design. Personally, I have zero issues with Touch ID coming back in this context. It's fast, reliable, and works regardless of how the phone is folded or unfolded. What I do find interesting is how Apple handles the front-facing camera cutout. This leak suggests a single punch-hole camera, resulting in a much smaller dynamic island, but I do wonder whether Apple actually go with a pure hole punch on the outer display, or if they'll stick with a pill-shaped cutout purely for brand consistency. Even if there's no Face ID hardware in there, a pill shape instantly reads as iPhone, and with the iPhone 18 Pro expected to keep a pill-shaped cutout, it wouldn't shock me if the fold matches that look, even if the dynamic island UI is mostly software driven. Either way, when you're actually using the phone, the dynamic island interface will still be there. It's more about how visible the physical cutout is when you're not actively interacting with it. We've also had separate rumors about Apple using an under-display camera on the inner display, and I really hope that still materializes. A 7.8-inch inner display that's genuinely crease-free and completely uninterrupted would be a massive win. Foldables already feel immersive, but removing any kind of camera cutout on the inside would take that to another level. And yeah, it's good Apple's prioritizing the best experience for the main display, while the outer panel makes a slight compromise with the cutout. On the left side of the device, things get very minimalist. According to the leak, it's completely smooth. No buttons, no switches, nothing at all. That might sound strange at first, but it lines up perfectly with what we're hearing about the internal layout. The motherboard is apparently located entirely on the right side of the device, which avoids splitting critical components across the folds. That's a big deal for durability and long-term reliability. Internally, the fold is set to use a stack design, and most of the available space is going to be dedicated to the display and battery. And this is where things get especially interesting. We're now hearing a battery capacity of around 5,500 mAh, which would comfortably make it the largest battery ever in an iPhone. And honestly, it has to be. A foldable 2 displays and mediocre battery life would not go down well, especially at Apple level pricing. The camera design is another area where Apple seems to be doing something a bit unexpected. Instead of a vertical camera layout, the Fold is set to use a horizontal arrangement on an iPhone Air style camera plateau. go. 2 cameras, arranged side by side, along with a flash and microphone. What's surprising here is the orientation. The iPhone 17's dual cameras are horizontal, specifically to allow for spatial video recording. So you'd expect Apple to go horizontal with the cameras in the Fold here because that would make sense from a features perspective, but them going vertical could be because of space limitations inside the chassis. The plateau itself is reportedly completely black regardless of the body color. That's different from the iPhone Air where the camera area matches the rest of the phone. I actually think the black plateau helps the Fold stand out more visually. It immediately differentiates it from the Air and gives it a slightly more industrial, intentional look. It feels less like a fashion statement and more like a piece of carefully engineered hardware for productivity. As for colors, expectations should be kept in check. The only confirmed color so far is white, with one additional color expected at launch. So yeah, just 2 options, and honestly, that does not surprise me at all. The iPhone X launched in just space gray and silver, and this feels like a very similar moment for Apple. A brand new form factor, tight supply constraints, complex manufacturing, limiting color options early on makes a lot of sense. There's also the question of materials. I'm assuming Apple is going to use titanium here, similar to the iPhone Air, purely for extra durability. Foldables introduce new stress points, and titanium helps keep the structure rigid without adding too much weight. It's not as good at heat dissipation as aluminium, but Apple has decided the trade-off is worth it, especially if the internal thermal design has been improved elsewhere. Speaking of internals, this is where Instant Digital's track record really matters. They've previously leaked details like the yellow iPhone 14, the frosted glass on the iPhone 15, spatial video on the iPhone 15 Pro, and the shifted landscape front-facing cameras on iPads. They've also been accurate about Apple Watch updates, iPad Pro display options, and even specific battery capacities on recent iPhones. So while the Fold information isn't confirmed, it's coming from someone who's earned a bit of credibility. Zooming out, all of this lines up with other Fold rumors we've been hearing: a 7.8-inch inner display, a 5.5-inch outer display, Touch ID, 2 rear cameras, the A20 chipset, and Apple's C2 modem. This is not Apple trying to win a spec war, it's Apple trying to make a foldable that feels like an iPhone first and a foldable second. The timing is also important. The Fold is expected to launch alongside the iPhone 18 Pro and 18 Pro Max later this year. That positioning matters. Apple isn't replacing the Pro models with this, it's offering an alternative, a different interpretation of what an iPhone can be without forcing everyone to follow. So I'm curious what you guys think. Do you think these leaks make the iPhone Fold feel more real to you? Or does it sound like a cautious first attempt that Apple is going to iterate on heavily in later generations? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe and hit the hype button. It generally helps a smaller channel like mine get noticed, and it means I can keep covering leaks like this as they surface. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.